What's up guys? In today's video, the top 3 legendaries and top 3 epics of the Nameless Brotherhood. Welcome back guys. So in today's video, another session of the top 3 legendaries, top 3 epics. We are joined with the Nameless Brotherhood. The Nameless Brotherhood has actually a really interesting team up passive, I would say. There is a 50% chance to grant 20 to up to 35% piercing rate when landing a crit. That's not really great for a lot of those heroes, but for example, for a Lokia or a Terror and a Mutu, it's a scary passive as well, definitely as a Lester and Hardak. And Alomas definitely can benefit from it as well. So pretty overall, it's a really nice passive. Although I personally think the Nameless Brotherhood is one of the weakest factions in the faction abyss. It's one of the hardest to clear in my opinion. If you do not have a Lukia, it's almost impossible to clear beyond stage 23. You definitely need the Lukia combined with the Lomas, for example, and 3 really strong supports in there to assist them. So it's a hard one, guys. It's definitely a hard one. So for the Nameless Brotherhood, okay, my top 3 heroes. Based on my experience, I would have to put Eric on spot number 3. Because Eric is one of the few really good damage dealers here in this faction, in this tribe actually. He has a burn, okay. Big chance, 70% chance to inflict burn on his basic skill. Here he attacks all enemies, reduce their defense as well, and a 60% chance to inflict burn as well. We all know if the enemy has 1 burn, the next one will detonate it. Eric grants bombs on the start of every turn. He can carry up to 5 bombs. And he has a 50% chance to use 1 bomb pursuing and attacking a random enemy at one time when an enemy takes a detonation damage. So you could, for example, combine this guy with another burner, with an Andras, with a Bari, with an Enna, and Eric will be a mad bomber, like his passive says. He will just throw bombs everywhere on the battlefield. And with his exclusive tree, he has a 35% chance that a bomb will not be consumed. So if you're lucky enough, he can throw a lot of bombs, guys. He can do a lot of damage. His ultimate, Bombardment Rain, he throws some bombs in the sky and has a chance to stun the enemies and inflict burn. The main reason I put him in here because he, like I said, he's one of the few heroes that does damage. You could say Mutu does a lot of damage, but believe it or not, guys, over stage 22, 23, Mutu is basically useless. He doesn't do any damage. Mutu, yes, is a really nice hero at the early game, but later than that, he just falls off. I'm gonna talk about Mutu later. Number 2 hero, in my opinion, is Ina. She's a stun, okay. She's a shield. She has a consolidation. The shield is based on her max HP, so the more HP she has, the more damage, the more shield. Her passive is also really interesting when you combine her with the Nameless Brotherhood, Doom Legion, or Eternal Sack. She will get extra layers, but when you are fighting against a Dragon Tribe or Forced Sword Harbor, she will lose of these stacks. It's a really complicated hero. I'm not gonna read her skills fully, but based on the usage of her, she really is amazing. And the more exclusive she has, the better she gets. Her ultimate, she does these 3 stages of 8% defense damage. And she's in a chance to inflict feebleness. So what do you want from a support, guys? She has feebleness, she has consolidation, and she has a shield. And she has a chance to stun, guys. So, and look at this one as well. She increased her shielding effects. She increased her affected for hitting feebleness, and she increased her defense the more stacks she has. So overall, she also looks cool, man. She reminds me of Echo from League of Legends. He also has this kind of green skin with a sword, the same hair actually. I think he's called Junkyard or something. I don't know. Yes, I do play League of Legends for the people that are wondering. Yeah, she can also use in the Green Mark tower as well. In the Abyss for sure. She is kind of must-have in the Abyss. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard. And then number 1, in my opinion, is this guy, Frick. He's freaking insane. Yeah, I made a joke. He has a chance to provoke an enemy. His second skill, crit damage down and attack down and reduce turn meter of all enemies when successfully reducing their attacks. So, man, he not only does he AoE attack the enemies, but if he lands this one, he will also reduce the turn meter. It's a really nice hero for pushing the faction abyss. He is also really great in PvE. I've seen him used in Dwarven Ruins very often. I'm not using him myself, but maybe I'm gonna try using him myself as well. Green Mark Tower definitely has some usage. His passive reduce all self damage received by 40%. Meanwhile, each time he gets direct damage, restores HP. I think this guy might be really fun to combine together with Marvel, because Marvel has a passive. When allies take direct damage, she will heal them by 4%. Imagine placing Marvel with this guy. They will just be healed all the time. So I'm gonna try some testing in the Guild War with this guy. I have him on E2, combined with Marvel. I think they're gonna be like the last man standing, the last team standing. His ultimate, the Taunt, guys. The Taunt for 2 turns restores allies HP by 12% of max HP, granting them a shield. I mean, what do you want more? An exclusive tree removes all debuffs from self and grants self block debuff for 2 turns before restoring HP. So he removes all debuffs, gives himself a block debuff and restore HP, and the shield will be increased to 30%. So this guy is not does he only look actually pretty cool, like a Frankenstein, but he's also freaking insane. That was my top 3 for the legendaries. Let's head over to top 3 epics. Okay, based on my usage that I used as early game, Hardek, for me, Lester and Wolsey are close to spot D, but I'll have to put Hardek on spot 1. He deals death damage and grants himself a shield that can stack up to 5 times. Okay, and it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice shield. Second skill grants consolidation for 2 turns and deals 280% damage to a single enemy. Not that big, but hey, it's a 370% defense damage and consolidation. This one, Hardek has 10% more, going up to 20% more defense, and he won't take crit from enemies that has lower defense. So if you pump this guy with 40k defense, anybody that has less than 40k defense cannot crit, guys. So interesting. And an exclusive one, he's a 30% chance to counter attack when taking active attacks from enemies whose defense is lower. So, and it can be stuck with counter attack. So imagine him with Catherine. He could counter attack 2 times. Is his damage strong enough to bring him with Catherine and to the end game? No, not really, to be really honest. Not really, to be honest. His ultimate, this one was really strong when this guy got released. He did piercing on his second swipe, and I remember this guy used to wipe arenas. He got nerfed after the nerf. He still remained okay, but not close how he was. So, used 2 stages of 130% death damage to all enemies. But he does buff himself up with 60% defense before casting this ultimate. So he will buff him up 60% defense and then just AoE the attack. Overall good hero. Spot number 2, I would say Lomas. Bleed, AoE bleed. He triggers bleeds as well. AoE bleed with defense down. Increasing his poison as well. So this guy is actually a must-have for the faction abyss to push. Unfortunately, he is not that. He could be used in the guild boss, okay, but other than that, I can only give him credits in the faction abyss. A little bit in the guild boss. In PvE, not really that well. Blue Tower, early game, yes. Mid game, yes. But after stage 24, not really. Although he has a really nice ultimate. And when you combine some of the Nameless Brotherhood, he gets the piercing as well. So it's not really that bad. Number 1, obviously, Dustin. The shield. 40% of his match XP. Affected down to enemy. Attack down to enemy. This guy is a must-have in the Blue Tower. Without him, I could not clear it. With him, I managed to clear it. Also, really great for the faction as well. So I'm gonna show you the team that I actually use. Hold on, not here. This is actually the team that I was using. Okay, but the damage is terrible. I plan to do this one. Okay, oh, hold on, this one. And replace this guy eventually with Lukia. I think this team could push up to 25 maybe even higher. But this is it, how I cleared it. It's really the hardest one. Back to the other heroes. Sinton could be used. Increase self defense. You all know him from the Tower of the Mark. You all struggled against this guy. He was just constantly counterattacking, and with a high defense, he can actually hit a lot of guys. Like 240% defense damage on a counterattack is pretty high. But this one cannot be stuck with counterattack, so you can just counterattack one time. Overall early game usage, yes. For the Blue Mark Tower, no. For this Abyss, not really. Eric, we talked about him. Frick. Okay, Gustav, he got changed already one time, but still, he's just underwhelming. He sacrificed his own HP to deal that damage, but it's not even close to strong. Timmy, useful only, in my opinion, in the Red Mark Tower for removing the shield on the enemy. He could also be definitely used in the Faction Abyss because he plays random debuffs on enemies. Okay, attack down, and crit rate down, and attack down is huge. Okay, he also reduced turn meter when having some exclusives. He grants his ally consolidation. He could be used in the Faction Abyss. I know, for example, Akhtar is using it in the Nameless Brotherhood Abyss, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen he made a video about him. So I'm sad that he's not that strong, because he looks actually pretty insane, guys. He really looks amazing. This hero looks so freaking well designed. Terror, I thought he was gonna be really strong, but he really didn't perform. He deals extra damage when an enemy has shield, yes, but the damage is just not there. Garina, she is okay. She can revive her allies. She gives immortal, stealth, heal. She can horrify. She can defense down the enemy. So she has definitely usage in the Faction Abyss. And she gets better with every exclusive, but she's not a hero worth investing early game. Aisha, even exclusive 5, she's really still bad, sadly. She has a really nice ultimate that has a lot of piercing and has a lot of max damage, but sadly she's not there. And Mutu definitely great early game, great for the Force Mark Tower, but his single target damage just falls off. His single target damage sadly just falls off. I was hyped about this guy early game. When I played this game, I even made a video comparing Lucifer's damage with him in the guild boss. They were close to damage, but he is just slacking, sadly. This guy, Egea, in my opinion, food. Mu, food. Mori, food. Lester can be used early game, but other than that, he's not that great. And then we have Volsi, can be used with some poisons, with the Walter, for example, with the Nita, definitely not that bad. Thank you guys for watching, and in the next video, we are gonna talk about the Hidden Wave.